Hello again, friends. Sorry for the interruption, but I guess that's what happens when you decide to do an impromptu video at your house. My husband came outside when I was doing that, so I abruptly paused, and then we were just chatting. So I have returned, and I know that that other video is actually getting kind of lengthy. This is what happens when I finally do open my throat chakra. Sometimes I don't know when to shut up, which is fine. I kind of don't really remember where I left off, but I know I was talking about self-confidence and humility and how I'm personally trying to balance these two energies within me and learn what they actually feel like. Because again, I have my own sort of human perspective of what confidence looks like. And I think I was saying this before, you know, strong personalities that I have been around pretty much my whole life, I have perceived them to be confident because, like I said, their physical voice is very like firm, very standing in their conviction, self-assured, sometimes loud, right? Like those are all aspects of what I have perceived to be confidence in other people. And this is not how I've operated in my life. I have been, like I said, sort of submissive to some degree, very silencing my own voice, again, to keep peace and to not rock boats. But I'm learning now that by suppressing any aspect of myself, whether it's something that I like or don't like, I am trapping that energy inside of me, and I am essentially causing disease, right? Mental, emotional, physical, however you want to look at it. It's kind of all the same thing to me. It's dis-ease. It's being out of flow state. It's really sort of being out of alignment from who I really am. And in this awakening journey of mine, these last 4 years or so, I have really been starting to become much more aware of who I really am and breaking out of old patterns, one now moment at a time. Like I said, nothing easy about it, not an overnight process, and I'm sure I have several linear years ahead of me that I will still be doing this work. But it does get easier, I find, with each sort of layer that I shed. Each new lesson or experience is like easier to navigate as I really start to own who I am in a self-confident way, not in an arrogant way. And I guess this goes back again to getting comfortable with being confident in my own skin. To me, I'm learning confidence is just that. It's being comfortable in my own skin. It's speaking my truth to others from a place of compassion, but not caring how it's received or perceived by other people. My intention is never to hurt or even trigger other people. But I know that my story, my journey, my truth does trigger people, merely because it unravels a lot of limiting beliefs that we've all been programmed and conditioned to believe. And that's why this awakening path is so challenging, because every awakening I go through challenges a belief that I hold to be true. And the ego does not like that. The higher self's like, yeah, whatevs, we know this is what it's all about, right? But the ego that gets attached to beliefs, that gets attached to perspectives and opinions and judgments, the ego doesn't like to be challenged. So when you start challenging your own internal beliefs, it causes a internal battle, really, a struggle. And I've just learned to kind of not resist this battle anymore. The more I resisted it, the louder and the more intense it felt. Where now I'm just trying to flow with it, because I really do believe everything is energy, thoughts, emotions. Everything's energy. Everything that we see in this physical earth plane that we can touch, taste, feel with our physical senses is energy. It's energy that created that physical matter. And thoughts and emotions are just as powerful as the things that we can physically touch. If anything, I almost perceive them to be more powerful because they creep into everything without us seeing it, right? So it's like they actually have a way of taking like an unconscious power over us until we start to become aware of them. And I'm learning with self-confidence. This means that I need to step out of comfort zones. Comfort zones meaning comfort zones of the ego. And my ego lived in fear of expressing myself. Like that was all fear. The fear of speaking up, the fear of really allowing myself to be all of who I am here to be. And to me, that's what I'm learning confidence is all about. It's owning all these aspects of me, accepting them, and sharing them with whoever wants to listen, right? I'm not here to change any of you. I'm here maybe to challenge some of your thoughts and beliefs based on what I'm sharing with you, but I'm not here to force feed you with my truth, right? Like that doesn't work. I can't get you to believe my journey because it's not your journey, it's my journey. But I have learned by, again, following other people that authentically share their journey, that is like one of the best gifts that we can give to humanity is sharing it in this very open, raw space. Because it empowers other people to step out of their comfort zones and do the same thing. That's confidence, right? That's being confident. But I can also be humble while doing this, I'm learning. Because again, my intention is not to force this onto anybody, right? That's what has been done to us our entire lives. Everybody else's opinions and beliefs have sort of been forced onto us. And then you look at the societal programming of the Matrix, it's all been forced onto us, right? And none of us like to be forced into things. We like to do stuff when we're ready. And I've learned with this awakening process that only I can be ready to awaken to the next step, right? So then I look at everybody else, and they also have to be ready to step out of their comfort zone and sort of start to challenge their own beliefs. So again, I'm not here to tell you my way is the right way. I'm here to share my way in hopes that it will inspire and empower other people that feel sort of similar to me or that are navigating their own journey, that are also learning how to be authentic and vulnerable, that are also learning to use their throat chakra in healthy ways, because it's very uncomfortable. I know many of us, I've done so many readings and healings on people. I've done so many past life readings, and many of us are walking around with this very, very suppressed throat chakra, and it comes out in all different ways. But it's insecurity and it's fear. It's essentially all based in fear. Fear of sharing truth that doesn't mimic or regurgitate the masses, right? That doesn't say the same thing that the mainstream news is saying. Like I am learning that I'm really just here to share my truth. That's all it really comes down to. And be me, right? Like I'm really just here to be my truth. And by being my truth, I share it energetically with other people. Even without getting on here and using my voice and using words to share it, my energy shares my truth with other people. And those that want to start to shift their own consciousness, shift their own realities, I'll plant seeds for them, right? Like my truth is planting seeds for them to awaken to their truths, because their truth is not my truth, right? But it's allowing people to start breaking free of this conditioned way of being and thinking, starting to like think for ourselves, feel for ourselves, and feel what intuitively is guiding us. Like, we all have intuition. We all have all of these amazing gifts. We're all born with all of these psychic gifts. It is a birthright. Listen to me right now. You don't have to believe me, but these are some empowering truths I'm sharing with you. And let me just put it this way. If you start to actually just think about what I'm saying, you don't have to believe it, but just think about it and become aware of when you think this, how does your body feel? How does your body react? How does your mind react when you start listening to what I'm about to say? It is everyone's birthright to heal ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. It is our birthright. I am not superior because I've healed diseases in my body to anybody else. I have just chosen to remember that this is my birthright. And every single one of you has this same birthright. Just like every single one of you is born with psychic gifts. We are all energy from the same single source that have experienced different human incarnations and other incarnations. We won't get into that. But we've all experienced different incarnations. And in those incarnations, we have different wisdom, different truths, different knowledge. But at the end of the day, we all do remember that it is an innate gift to be able to tap into the energy of all that is. That's being psychic. It's just tapping into the energy of things, reading energy from a non-human perspective lens, but from an energetic, resonating lens. I don't know if this is making sense, but I'm just rambling as it's coming through. So yes, birthright. It is our birthright to heal ourselves. It is our birthright to evolve to whatever level we choose to evolve to. It's our choice. It is our choice, our individual choice. It is a birthright to tap into all of these amazing gifts that we all have. But we have to believe it for ourselves before we can really start to do it. And we have to do the work. And when I say do the work, that means getting really comfortable in the uncomfortable of the things that our self wants to run from, our shadows, right? Like we call them the shadow. It's called shadow work. And these are the aspects of us that we've suppressed, hidden, tucked away in a drawer, because it's not accepted by society. It's not accepted by our parents. It's not accepted by our friends, our loved ones, our family, the schools, you name it, the system, right? The external system that apparently dictates to us who we are supposed to be. And in my awakening, that's what I'm breaking free from. The external systems that have told me how to show up in this world. I'm starting to listen to my internal compass and how I want to show up in this world. How do I want to be in this world? How do I want to empower myself and other people, right? And by sharing the fact that you can heal any physical disease, that triggers the shit out of a lot of people, and I get that, but it also empowers a lot of people. Because when you realize that I'm nobody special in the sense that I'm any different from any of you, that I have these superior capabilities. We all have them. We're all special. Like, we're all special, and we all have these special gifts. It's just a matter of whether or not we choose to accept them, embrace them, tap into them, fine-tune them, evolve them, right? So confidence. Again, this whole video, 2 videos, which now this is being longer than I intended as well, so I will wrap it up soon. But I guess I'm feeling very confident in sharing all of this with you. This is confidence, right? This is being comfortable in this skin suit that I've chosen to be the avatar for this experience, this human experience. This is sharing this human experience with you, as well as my spiritual awakening. That's confidence. But I do it from a very humble space, meaning I'm not trying to force feed it to anybody. I'm not trying to make you believe it. I'm not trying to change any of you. I'm literally just using my voice to finally share lifetimes worth of things I've suppressed, things that empower humanity, things that have been hidden from us in history, in everything, right? Because this is empowerment. This is empowering humanity, and the powers that be that want to keep us in that sort of fear enslaved state of consciousness, they don't want humanity to be empowered. They don't want you to feel your truth. They don't want you to know that you are this amazing spiritual being that has limitless gifts, that has limitless capabilities of tapping into all of the seen and unseen, right? They certainly don't want you to know that you can heal disease, because I am a nurse. I worked for the system, and I know how big of a business the healthcare system is. And this is why I have broken free of that system. And it is almost 1 year to date since I left my job in the system, and I have not looked back. I am certainly not making the money I was making in the system, but I have not looked back, and I have not one regret, because I am trusting this path. I am trusting that my experience as a nurse absolutely played its role, had its benefits. Again, it helps me to understand a lot about this physical body and be able to work with different people of all calibers and diseases and ailments. But because I now understand energy as well, it's like I have a dual perspective of how it all works together. And the healthcare system, the education system that I was brought up in, that many of us are brought up in, does not teach these limitless ideas. It teaches limited beliefs. It teaches disempowerment. It teaches us diseases that are not curable, that are genetic, that we have to live with, right? It takes our power away. So the powers that be don't want you to know any of this, that you are able. They don't want you to believe this, even if you know it. There's a lot of people that know this but haven't been able to experience it to a level that they can really anchor that belief, right? And that's what it comes down to, is you have to go through your own experience to be able to really believe it. Because there's 1,000,001 people out there that also teach the same thing. I'm certainly not the first person and won't be the last. I found a lot of them actually after I went through a lot of my own self-healing and realizing it for myself first. I found these amazing resources out there that have been teaching this for several years that I was very unaware of. And a great person I use a lot for people is Dr. Joe Dispenza, a doctor, also brought up in the same limited belief healthcare education system that I was, who is also very wide awake to quantum energy and understanding it from that level. And he has a lot of evidence to back what I'm saying. So when I found him, it was like, holy shit, dude, like I just proved this to myself for the last 3 years. And now you are basically tying up in a nice bow and package what I just experienced, and you're putting it out there for people in a scientific way that has evidence that people want on this earth plane. They want tangible evidence, right? Till they can experience it for themselves. Then that's enough evidence. Once you experience it for yourself, that is all the evidence you need. But until you're there, I understand. You need tangible proof that this is a real thing, right? And I feel like Dr. Joe Dispenza does a really good job. Another one is Dr. Bruce Lipton. They both teach epigenetics. Again, a whole nother concept for another day that Sam and I will probably talk about together, because she's also a nurse. And we share a lot of the same understandings of things now. So, anywho, this video is getting to be longer again than I anticipated. So I'm going to wrap it up. But I feel like I have done service to myself in stepping out of my comfort zone, in stepping into this new energy of confidence, and also still honoring humility at the same time. Because at the end of the day, we're all on our own individual journey. And I do feel like we are collectively here to share our experiences with each other. But at the end of the day, we're all on our own individual journey. And I don't judge anybody for wherever they're at on their path. Because we're all just here to experience and to learn and to grow and to evolve. And some of us are here to heal in this life. So if you're one of those people, feel free to keep following me, because I am somebody that continues to heal. And I'm here for support, and that's about it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see all of you lovely human souls again. Love you.